guys, thanks for tuning in. In this video, we're going to be talking about the emergency fund. Now, you might have been like, wait a minute, we already made the emergency fund. And yeah, you're right. We already made the emergency fund. We did. However, the emergency fund is part of the financial foundation, so we're going to talk about it again here. The emergency fund that we created in the first place was just a starter emergency fund, right? It was really the first thing that we did because when we wanted to start building this machinery and, all the tracking and all that kind of stuff, we wanted to make sure that if anything happened unforeseeningly, right, then we had some money that we could, turn the tap on real quick and put that in there in case we needed to. We didn't really need to. Nothing of that sort of thing happened exactly. So, but it was nice to have that peace of mind, wasn't it? All right. The emergency fund that we have made so far is a starter emergency fund is $2,000, and the goal that I had for the emergency fund was $5,000. Okay, so let's go over a little bit of detail on what the emergency fund is. And again, we're going to be getting a little sneak preview here of this course. But the emergency fund is, we're going to go back to the big monitor here, and we're going to go like this. Yeah, that way I can show you the cool animations. So we're going to talk about more about what the purpose is of the emergency fund. Okay. Now, keeping in mind the last video that you saw on debt management, oh no, where did the animations go? I need to be right back. Okay, so I went and made the animations again, and they're better than they were before. So it was great. I was a little upset that they were disappeared. I tried going and finding old versions of it in Google Drive. Couldn't find any, so I had to just make them all over again. But they're so much better now. So much better. Okay, so in a normal operation of this financial system that you have built here, right, there's going to be expenses, and for that reason, there has to be money coming into this thing somehow or other. Now, the most common way that money is going to come into that is going to be through your earned income, through your effort. You're going to work and you're earning money per your time or your salary, whatever, and that's how you're putting money into there. That's the main way. Oh, you can't see the expenses over there. Okay, but if things happen, like what if expenses get bigger, or your car breaks down, or something similar to that happens, like your phone breaks, or you see some kind of opportunity, you're like, ooh, I want to get in on this opportunity. I can't miss this opportunity. I need to get in there, FOMO. And you're not supposed to use your emergency fund for this kind of stuff. But hey, this is a thing that might happen to you. So we're going to include it here, right? And you might. And if it does happen, any one of these things, or the other things that you might get fired too from your job, right? That's one of the main reasons that you keep an emergency fund here. Now, that any of these things happening doesn't preclude the machine from requiring an input. You're still going to need to put money into there. So most people, what they're going to do if they don't have an emergency fund is they're going to go to the bank, a lending institution, and borrow money. And remember from the last video of the debt management situation, when you do this, you're creating an obligation to pay them back. You're putting a chain around your neck, basically. So what we want to do with the emergency fund is replace the bank in the order from where you would get money from. You lose your job, or you can't have income from your job coming in, then you want to go to the emergency fund. And third, if the emergency fund is run out and then you can't really do anything, you want to have the bank as your place of last resort. Okay? It's not like you're eliminating the bank, but you're decreasing the likelihood that you are going to have to go and put yourself in debt when any one of these situation type things happen here, right? We've already made a starter emergency fund of $1,000. Well, mine was $2,000. I made $2,000 instead of $1,000, right? The idea now is moving past the starting point with the emergency fund and going to maybe 1 month's expenses, or maybe 3 months' expenses, or 3 to 12 months' expenses. And typically people say, okay, the biggest kind of emergency fund that you're going to want is 1 year's worth of income. Now, this is just kind of standard, typical industry, regular advice. They say you at least you want to have 1 year's worth of income because you never know. Another coronavirus could close down the world and this kind of thing, right? If 2020 has shown us anything, that is that we want to be prepared and all. Later on, I'm gonna talk more about this. What is an emergency fund really? I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna show you what emergency fund that I use, and it goes against all advice that you'll hear from everybody. And it's good because I'm not a financial professional that is giving you advice. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, and you can decide for yourself whether I'm an idiot or not. What we're gonna do now, though, is I'm going to make an emergency fund that is 3 months worth of expenses because I was thinking about this and, I think 3 months is plenty for me. If something were to happen with my job or anything else, like my car breaks down, I don't have a car, but if anything happens, right? I think 3 months worth of expenses is going to be plenty. So I'm going to do that in a second. Do I have any more slides here? Oh, yeah. So the cool thing now that you can do, because now you've built this machinery here, is instead of doing like a save $1,000 challenge like we did the first time, what you can do is very simply just take the money, the output from your net income and put it into the emergency fund to grow it. So, yeah, you don't really have to do much work now other than set up an automatic transfer kind of that we've already have going in a way, so we just have to edit it, and that'll fill up your emergency fund. So that's cool. So let's go take a look at what my emergency fund is right now. Emergency fund is right now $5,000. So I want 3 months worth of expenses here. So the way to do that is just go and check on the expenses column in the income statement. The trailing 12-month average of my expenses, but of course I only have 6 months worth of expenses to base it off of. I think that's plenty. My average for that amount of time is $2,500, right? That's right? Yeah, $2,500 average each month. So if I want to have a 3 month of emergency fund, and this is like fat spending. This, if I really, really, really needed to cut it down, I could cut it down to 1,700, 1,800 maybe. But I'm going to choose this number and have that be my 3 months here. So I'm going to go into here, and 3 months of 2,500 per month is 7,500. So that's going to be my new goal for my emergency fund. I already have 2,000 in there, so I'm already whatever of the way there. I don't really have a due date for the emergency fund. It's not really a due date, but I guess I could put a due date in there, to kind of plan for it in advance. But whatever, I'll just put it at 7,500, and we'll see what happens. Let's just put in a due date in. Let's put. I know you should probably go and calculate it numerically what it could be, but let's just put it at 2021 on this day in a year. In 1 year, I'll have 3 months worth of expenses. I can probably get it before then. Oops. Oh, I guess. Oh, June only has 30 days. That's why it was getting mad. So let's put it at 6 months from now. 6 months from now, I should have $7,500 in there as my emergency fund. All right. So that's it for the emergency fund. Yeah, guys, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. We're almost done with this whole thing, and it's exciting because next up is going to be something pretty cool. I'm going to take everything that we've done in this and condense it into a course, so you don't have to watch me talk and go through Excel and click on stuff for a whole bunch of time. It's going to be pretty nice. Just going to give you like a walkthrough of each section, explain what it is, and then you go and do some homework assignments. And if you do them, you're going to end up with the ability to automatically fund your emergency fund, just like me. I guess one thing that I could do is set up an automatic transfer into the emergency fund. Like I already have something going here. I already have the 616 going into this opportunity fund here, right? And I need the opportunity fund. The opportunity fund, well, let's just do a little bit of calculation here. So the opportunity fund has 616 in it, going in there per month, and I need 7,000 by the September, so 9 months. Oh, interesting. I'm going to have a little bit under there. Huh. Okay, so maybe that's not going to work. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. These are all estimations anyway. So, oh no, it is going to work because it's this plus that. I'm stupid. So I'm gonna have. Oh, I'm just gonna have just exactly. So the amount that's going into the opportunity fund is exactly going to be able to pay off the my last credit card there. Oh, okay. So then maybe after that is when I can start going with the emergency fund, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna leave this here, for now. But we'll see what happens. Something might happen. You never know. Okay, guys. So I'll see you later. That's it for the emergency fund. Bye-bye.